Hello, my name is Mike Deluca and I'm running for the one-year term for District 3. I served on the board in 2008 and I served as your secretary, and I hope you'll support me as your director in 2010. I have been an IT professional for over 35 years and have worked for some of the largest brokerage firms and banks in the country, and I also own my own software consulting company. I want to speak to you a little bit about Candidates Night. On Candidates Night, Mr. Lerner admitted employee complaints have been filed against him for harassment. Then he attempted to explain it all away by blaming his accent, his bad English, and his intensity. Mr. Lerner refuses to be held responsible for anything, even the words that come out of his mouth. Having served on the board with Mr. Lerner for 1 year, I witnessed him berating many employees, including humiliating the ex-GM and the ex-controller in public in a meeting with the FAC and the accounting department and the board of directors. I was there. His excuse of bad English and his insistence that he is mild-mannered and has never harassed employees, to me, is just a blatant lie. To me, being a director is about helping the owners and residents and staff, not terrorizing, threatening, harassing, and even suing, as certain directors may do. If you watched Candidates Night, you probably realized that Mr. Lerner and Ms. Strums's and Ms. Kissen's speeches were similar, very, very similar, and I believe they were written by the same person, and I don't think it was written by any one of them. Did you even think that they, I don't even think that they wrote their own campaign literature. In 2007, I was behind the scenes for the For Better Galaxy campaign, and I know exactly who wrote the literature for Mr. Lerner, and again, it was not Mr. Lerner. If you vote for my opponent, you will probably be voting for her ghostwriter. In the 4 months she's been on the board, she has voted with the majority almost every time, even when she admitted she knew nothing about the issues. At Candidates Night and even in the board meeting, she admitted to knowing nothing, but yet her campaign literature is filled with a substantial amount of background history of Galaxy information. How would she know that if she admitted she knows nothing about the Galaxy, but she's willing to learn? It's obvious to me she didn't write any of her literature. I write everything that I say, and what I say is coming from my own head, not from someone else's, not from somebody else's speech or from someone else's thoughts. They're my thoughts and they're my words. If you know me at all, you know I research issues and make my own independent, informed decisions. I wrote all my campaign material regardless of what you may have heard. I am what you call the real deal. My opponent, very strangely, signed a petition to remove Mr. Lerner, Ms. Strumser, and Mr. Miller. And then, oddly enough, 22 days after the petitions were handed in, she was appointed to the board and became a Lerner supporter. And when someone sways that easily, it's very troubling to me that they can be persuaded to go from one side to another in such a short term. To me, that's very, very troubling. With me, you know what you're getting. I speak the truth. I won't be intimidated, and I can't be bought. I wear my heart on my sleeve for all to see. If I am elected, you will have someone on the board with your interests at heart. Whatever your concerns and issues are, you can always bring them to my attention, and you can be rest assured I'll do my best to make the board addressed them. I moved to the Galaxy in 2002. I sold my first apartment in 2005 for over $700,000. Today, under the Lerner administration, that same apartment is probably worth less than $340,000. And you can't put all that blame on the economy. When our buildings look awful, services are non-existent, elevators don't run. Elevator 12 was out for like 2 months in Tower 3. There is a constant turnover of the staff, and maintenance costs are the highest ever. Last year, I said that under the Lerner administration, we will not be able to rent or sell our apartments. Today, I'm very sorry to say that I think my prediction has come true. During my term as director, I was part of everything the board did in 2008. There was more transparency on the board than ever before, and I take credit for making sure all sides of the issues were brought before you, the owners, in open session. That's why I asked the hard questions. That's why I defended the right of all directors to be heard. If you watch the meetings over the past year under Mr. Lerner as president, you've seen that all of this has disappeared. Now there is less transparency than ever before. Mr. Lerner has even spent your hard-earned maintenance dollars trying to shut down my website, galaxyfacts.com. Even though when he ran in 2007, when he was an advocate of free speech and transparency, he posted constantly on my website. And now he's trying to sue to find the identities of posters who post anonymously when he did the same exact thing to get elected in 2007. Now he has filed a petition to seek identities of people who write anonymously on my website. He intends to sue at least one Galaxy homeowner, if not more. This is the president of our association. I want to serve my community and make this a better place to live. Unlike my opponent, I wasn't approached by one of Lerner's supporters or their friends to see if I would like to be appointed to the board. I wanted to be a director because it's in my blood, it's in my heart. I'm dedicated, I'm loyal, and I'm consistent. For those of you who know me, you know I don't take anything lightly. I always give 100%. I did in 2008, and I will again in 2010 if you elect me. Too often when election time comes around, owners don't vote. This year, let's make a change. Let's get out and vote. You've seen what happened over the past year. Our homes never looked worse or cost more. The garage was almost closed by the state for fire violations. The driveway is dangerous to walk or drive on. The elevators are a joke. Were you promised to get new windows? Tax relief? Stop the financial bleeding? I don't think any of that happened, while paying the highest maintenance in Galaxy history. If you're not happy with the way your property is being handled, vote, or give your proxy to a candidate who will make a positive change, not those who merely rubber stamp the wishes of one, Mr. Slava Lerner. Please vote for me, Mike Deluca, on March 10th, and I thank you very much for your consideration, and I hope you'll all get out and vote this year and make a positive change. Thank you and good night.